I just want to thank this week's unofficial sponsor, Titebond. I know that when I need something tightly bonded, I reach for Titebond. Because if it's not Titebond, it's not tightly bonded. Well, people love it when you screw up, so oops. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we're continuing on a renovation on this 1956 Calcraft. If you remember from last week's video, we got all of our ceiling joists in all the way around and our windows framed in, but I was hoping to get these layers that make up the last little bit of the outside curve installed, and I didn't quite get to that. So that's what we're going to do this week. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. It really helps us out. Give us a like, leave a comment, be a part of the community. So to get the strips that we're going to use to make that last little bit of that outside curve, I'm going to cut down some of the cut-off material that's actually the same stuff that we use to build our ceiling, and rip that to 3/4 inch width, and then we're just going to glue it and tack it down like we did when we built up the outside edge of that wall. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Back to the basement. Okay, so this is going to be the same procedure as building the curve was originally. The only difference is going to be that my little spring clamps they don't go wide enough for me to use those, so I'm going to try to do just a few layers at a time, glue them, put them on, and staple them down. I don't know how else to explain that. It's pretty simple. Glue, staples, a few at a time. Get excited. Nearly enough glue to pull this off. So if you were wondering how much camper you can build with one of these and one of these, it's this much, because I am completely out of glue. So I'm going to go to the store and get another one of these and another one of these. I always like to start with 2 fresh ones so I can use up everything in here and then start filling it up, and it's not all crusty nasty like this one is. We got 5 layers up there today, so I'm hopeful that I can get this done in a day or 2. I'm going to continue picking glue off my hand and clean up for the night, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. Nicely restocked and ready to start some more layers. Okay, so I know I said doing 3 layers at a time was too difficult, and it is, but if I do 3 more layers, then I'm done with this side. 2 more layers, then I've got to come back and do a whole other pass. So 2 more layers, 3 more layers. Perfect. Maybe I'll just do 3 layers. there you have it. 10 layers on top of, I don't even know how many layers were underneath there to build up this curve. It seems like a lot, and it's definitely time consuming, but it was the way they built it originally, and it's probably reasonably strong. Everything lined up just like it was supposed to. I hope you enjoyed that, because I get to do it another time. Another day, another 30 layers of curve. So first things first, I'll be taking some more wood down to the basement, cutting up 30 strips that I'm gonna then take out here and glue up. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and just do all 10 layers of one section at a time, and that seems to be a little bit quicker. Also, I've got 2 ladders out now so that I can just glue a whole long strip and stick it down without having to glue half of it, move the ladder, so on and so forth. So I think this is going to be quicker. I think I'm going to be done today. Fingers crossed. Back to work. Done. One other thing I did want to do this week is I need a little extra bracing for when I put the cabinets back. And originally there was 0 bracing up there. Common wisdom that you attach cabinets from the outside is great and wonderful and everything, but they attach the cabinets just directly to the paneling, which is so these screws here are what holds that cabinet on the inside, and they just drilled them through the quarter in and bent them over. Not super desirable, not super sturdy. I'm going to add a couple horizontal pieces so I can hit on the cabinets easily, and I'm going to do the same over here. So I know I haven't really said much about the internal plans for this, but let me show you a couple things real quick that we're planning on doing. Okay, so there's going to be cabinets on either side of this window, and I'm just going to essentially recreate the ones that were there because I like the design, I like the size of them, so you know, if it works, great, stick with it. And it just so happens I've kept both cabinets, and it goes right there. Look at that fit, isn't that beautiful? So it's got a few spots on the back where it can attach to the wall, so I'm going to make sure that there's a horizontal joist going through there and over here so that we can attach it to those things. And then we're just going to copy the design of this cabinet and put it back in place. So since these aren't really structural, I'm just going to make them out of some 3/4 inch and glue, and then pocket holes on it, and just slip it in there and attach it. Catherine's dad and I were talking, and we both felt that this gets just a little thin above the wheel arches on both sides, so we're just going to add a little extra thickness there to make sure it's good and secure. Okay, so here's one of the more complicated pieces I had to make. I actually had to cut it into a parallelogram to match what was originally there. It also needs to be notched to fit over the frame, and this is where the new skin is going to come down and actually attach across the bottom here. So I just need to make some cuts and put that into place. And then there's just one little tiny piece of framing left to do, and then a couple of adjustments, and I think that's everything I can do on this for now. Well, people love it when you screw up, so oops. I think I missed every single one of them. I know where they need to be now. Should have just done it this way. Fortunately, none of those nail holes are where anyone will ever see them, so no big deal. That's the real thing. If you're going to make a mistake, put it where someone won't see it. So one of the last things I need to do is to make this flat sort of stud here match out here. Now the reason why you don't want a curve out here and a flat here is when you put that skin over, you know, you're already curving it this direction. Metal doesn't really like to be curved this direction and this direction at the same time without some sort of bending or warping or kinking. The other thing, I don't want it to look like there's a dip back here. I want it to look continuous. So I've taken my straight edge, scribed a line on either side, and I'm just going to put the belt sander on there and take it down until it meets that line, and then I should be flat across here. I've got to do that on the other side. I've got to do it on the front where it curves up there. But I think it's going to be worth it in the finished product. Well, with all that framing and sanding and gluing and stapling and etc. completed, I think we can safely move on from here. So I think next time I'm going to be working on some insulation for this. Insulation, then wiring, then skin. Could it be? That'd be scary. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. New videos come out every Sunday, so make sure and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.